All right, this should be packet number 3 that we're working on today. All right, so looking at relative dating of rock. That should be the title of the worksheet that you have in front of you, or the title of the packet that you have in front of you. All right, in your own words, principle of superposition. Write it down. In your own words. Do not copy off of one of the other papers. Just tell me in your own words, what is the principle of superposition? Okay, you should know this by now. All right, so number 1B, or sorry, B number 1, on the line below each box, list the letters from the oldest event to the youngest event. So we're looking at our pictures. What is the oldest event on here that I can figure out? Well, A cuts through a lot, so we know that A can't be the oldest. So let's look here. All right, it's got to be E. Sorry for my terrible writing again. Then C. Then B. Okay, you notice A doesn't come up into D, so it's got to be A. Oh my gosh. And then D. Okay. How about we go number 3 first? How about we just do this one, then I'll scroll down. So number 3, let's look. Okay, can't be D because D cuts through a whole bunch, so we know it can't be D. All right, how about E? E's got no other layer below it, so it's got to be the oldest, right? And then A goes next. Then F. Then look, D cuts all the way through F, but not through C, so it's got to be D. Then C. Then G. And then B. Okay, again, if you're getting different results than me, we will definitely talk about them. Okay, we can definitely talk. All right, we'll go with purple this time. I haven't done any purple yet. All right, oldest layer. What's the oldest layer? All right, it can't be E. Can't be E because E cuts through into A right here. Okay, it can't be A because A is on top of B, so we got to go with B first. So we got B, and then A. Then it looks like E happens. Okay, now look, this is an interesting one. That line cuts all the way up here. I would be tempted to say D happens and then C happens. Only because, look, like C goes all the way up there. So I'm thinking actually this line right here might end at this point. So I'm thinking that it's actually D first, that the cut happens. And then that something happened to lay down a whole bunch of layer C all together. So I think it's D and then C. But we can talk about that on Friday. Okay, if you want to go with your different one and explain to me how it's different, let's do it. All right, and then our last one, number 4. Okay, what's our oldest layer? Well, it can't be A because A's up here. It can't be G because it cuts through a whole bunch of stuff. It can't be E because it cuts through stuff. So what's this one right here? B. And then it can't be E because E cuts through D as well. So we'll go with D and then E. Then what comes next? We got to go with A. All right. And then we got C that happens. Okay, C happens, but C would have been all the way up here if it wasn't for G. So then G happened. And then F. And then H. Boom, look at that. We're solving these one at a time. All right, let's go down here. Who done it? Who done it? Someone took the last cookie in the cookie jar last night. The last person to leave the scene is the culprit. Who was it? The butler walks to work. Well, was it the butler? Let's look. So the butler's the guy that's walking. Let's follow these shoe prints here. The shoe print goes over this thing. So it could have been the butler. It goes over the tire mark here. It goes over this tire mark. Ooh, but it's underneath the dog print. So he wasn't the last one to leave. So let's go back down here. We can cross off the butler. It wasn't the guy walking. Okay, it's got to be the guy with the dog. So let's see, who's got a dog? Well, it's not the handyman. It's not the motorcycle. It's not the car. Oh, look at that. It's always the nephew. Knew it the whole time. We knew it the whole time. It was the nephew. It's always the nephew. It's always the nephew. He's always sneaking food. We've been suspicious of him. All right, and then the principle of superposition back here, number the events below in the order they occurred in time, 1 through 9. So what would happen? What would happen first? 1, and then 9 would be the last thing that happened. So, layer D up here we know would be the last thing to happen. Layer R right here we know was the first one. So there's 2 of your hints. I'm going to have you do that one on your own. We'll talk about it tomorrow.